Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jody, and this is the update for week 9 of my Finish Before You Start series. 9. That's crazy. 3 weeks left. Huh. If you're new here, this is a challenge that I've given to myself for 12 weeks, or the fourth quarter of 2025 in this particular case, to focus on all of the unfinished business, the open loops, projects that are incomplete, tasks that have been on my task list for very long time. All of those items, to at least focus on those, on getting those things closed, shut down, completed, whatever, as much as is possible. Trust me, the list is far longer than I have the time and energy to complete and handle in one quarter. But it's about not focusing on something new. It's about avoiding this shiny, new, exciting thing that might just turn into another project I start and don't finish. Can anyone relate? So my focus has been on just finishing this up. I actually went through in the beginning and did a big brain dump of everything that was open and unfinished projects, then selected a good chunk of those, and I put them on a Kanban board. I want to show you right now what my Kanban board looks like, because there is some pretty good white space at the top. So there's still a lot, like all those post-its in the top section and the middle section, those are all things that aren't completed. They're either in process or not started at all for this round. But look at all the white space, like that's, and then all the stuff that's done at the bottom, like that's, it feels like such a good accomplishment. And it's been really fun to just focus on this and not be worrying about other goals and other focuses and trying new things, and really making a point to avoid the new and shiny. And it has been a very good lesson for me. Anyway, let me show you what I got up to this week, and then we'll chat a little more at the end, because I have some thoughts and some things that came up that I think you might be interested in hearing about. So I'll see you in a few minutes.
So the first thing I tackled is the remainder of the thousands of records that my parents had. So I just went through the rest of them and then took them over to the local friends of the library who are selling them, and then the proceeds for them will go to the library. In total, this part of doing the records took me about 45 minutes to get through. Next up, I tackled the boxes that are along the right-hand side there, and you'll see that there actually was quite a bit more shred in these boxes than I had anticipated, so it did slow me down a bit, but I just went through these and just got them. It was stuff from just all over the place, so that got sorted. And then you'll see back in that corner is some computer towers. We're going to talk about those again in just a minute. In total, this next phase took me about an hour. Okay, so let's quickly recap. Here is what the dining room looked like at the beginning of the week, and here's how it looks now. So that was a total of just short of 3 hours to get from the beginning of the week to what you're seeing now.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the computers. So there were computers that were being stored. I have several in many places. There are 4 towers that were old. Most of them belonged to my parents, who have passed away quite some time ago. And then I have other various laptops, and you know how it is. So I had been holding on to most of these computers and laptops for a decade or more. And when I was getting ready to finish the dining room and get things cleared out of there, one of the things I needed to deal with in particular that were in there were these towers. So I searched around in my local community and so on, and I found that my community, I think the entire state, but for sure in my metro community, they have free electronic recycling, and there are a ton of places. I had no idea, honestly. I had no idea. And it wasn't until I started searching last week that I found it. So I wanted to pass along a little bit of the thought process I had once I learned this information, and how I came to feel like I could let go of those items without having logged into them again, which had been my plan and was why I was holding on to them. So effectively, I'd been holding onto these computers for 2 reasons. Number one, I wanted to make sure there wasn't anything on there that could get into the wrong person's hands and cause me grief and cause someone else grief. So I was holding on to them for that reason. And then the second reason, I'm sure you can all name it with me, right, is to get pictures. If there are pictures or other kind of momentous pieces of information that are being stored and they're just stored on that computer. So my plan was to, set up a little station, find all power cords and a variety of power cords and, keyboards and stuff, and monitor, and just try to figure out how to log in. In some cases, I might not have been able to log into these computers. I can guess what maybe 1 or 2 passwords were for my parents, but there was no way to know for sure. I know there are ways I could hire somebody to come in and kind of break into them. But again, as I started really thinking through what the process was going to be for me to get this information off of those computers, it was daunting, which is why they had been sitting for more than a decade, and I hadn't done anything with them. I started giving it some thought as I found out about these electronic programs, and one of them locally will actually take the hard drive out of the computers and then shred it electronically. They will shred the electronics. Physically, they will shred it. I don't even know what electronic shredding would be. Maybe someone uses that term, but they'll physically shred it, and they actually show a little video on their website about how they shred it. So it would just be no more. So any risk of people finding something that I didn't care to have myself, I just didn't want to get into someone else's hands, that was eliminated, and that was a big thing that was holding me back. So that's something to consider. The other thing was pictures. And I just started realizing once I knew that I could have the computers effectively destroyed and then fully recycled, I started really thinking through whether the other component, photos or videos, other memories or things like that, whether it was worth my time to try to sleuth around and find those. And I just decided no, it's not worth it. I feel really at peace with that decision. These computers have been sitting around for so long, and sure, maybe there's a magical picture or video somewhere that, if I lived a different life and had it, it would be meaningful to me. But in this life and in these circumstances, I'm ready to let it go. I have tons of pictures and videos and fabulous memories with all of the really important people who have been in my life or who are in my life now. And I don't know that taking the time to sleuth through and spend so much time and energy, it just doesn't feel right to me. So I'm letting it go. So those computers, they're piled in a nice little spot in my garage, and I already have, it's 2 days from now when I can drop them off at the place where they'll shred the hard drives for me. And so that's already on the calendar and planned. So as far as I'm concerned, it's done. I just have to take the action in 2 days. And I am feeling very relieved because those were one of the things that were really weighing me down. So I thought I would share that with you. If you have electronic clutter and you have similar reasons for holding on to it, of course, I will never try to talk you into getting rid of something that may feel not right for you to let go of. But for me, I finally got to the point where it feels right. It just feels like more stress to hold on to it and keep on the path that I'm on than it does to just let it go. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the journey so far, catching up on week 9. I will post again next Tuesday for this challenge for week 10. I'm doing 12 in total for this challenge, so pretty excited to be getting near the end. For no other reason than it's just been such a great challenge, and I want to see what I do for the next couple weeks and see how that goes for me. I do have other videos coming out that I'm working on, so hopefully you'll see those soon. That'll be on different topics and about planning my goals for first quarter, what I'm up to there, doing a reading journal, and I'll show you the setup of that and so on. So lots to come. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you again on Tuesday. Bye.